Sarada Uchiha may lose her Mangekyo Sharingan much sooner than most of you expected, and the official sneak peek for Chapter 34 of Boruto, 2 Blue Vortex, which dropped just a few hours ago, basically confirms it. But hidden inside that preview are a lot more important details that people still haven't noticed. So make sure you watch this video all the way through, and definitely subscribe to the channel so you can get new content every single day. My goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers, and together I really believe we can make that happen. And now, let's get into the breakdown. When the first spoilers for Chapter 34 came out, I honestly froze for a few seconds. Sakura was there on the page. She looks at Sarada and confirms that her eyesight has clearly gotten worse compared to before. Right away, I noticed the specific detail that Ikemoto focused on when he drew Sarada's hand, blurry and unfocused. Sakura is one of the greatest medical shinobi in the world, and she openly admits that she's powerless here. That was the part that hit the hardest, because if even she is talking about the risk that has always come with the Mangekyo Sharingan, without even hinting at a ready-made solution, then the situation is genuinely serious. And that's what makes it unsettling, because Sakura never talks like that without a reason. Let's go back to the canon for a second. In the original Naruto, it was explained very clearly that the Mangekyo Sharingan damages the user's eyesight with every use. By the end of his life, Itachi Uchiha could barely see anymore. He was surviving almost entirely through willpower and experience, which only slowed down the inevitable. Sasuke Uchiha rapidly started losing his vision after repeatedly using Amaterasu and Susanoo, until he eventually received Itachi's Mangekyo. Naruto canon directly tells us that the more powerful and destructive the technique is, the faster the Sharingan deteriorates. This isn't random writing from the author, it's a strict rule of the universe that nobody is immune to. The manga may be hinting that Sarada's deterioration is progressing unusually fast. I've been talking about this for a long time already, and Chapter 34 may have just added even more evidence. Sarada may be pushing her Mangekyo harder than Sasuke ever did at a comparable point in his life, but her power already seems incredibly advanced, and because of that, the degeneration of her Sharingan could be happening faster than expected. And Sakura sees it clearly and doesn't try to hide it from her. That alone says a lot. Now let's talk about Himawari. A lot of fans expected her awakened power to somehow stabilize Sarada's condition. The logic behind that makes sense, but things may not be that simple or that immediate. What if Himawari is already helping, we just can't see it yet? Some abilities in this universe don't work instantly. They operate more like a quiet process, running in the background, slowly, subtly, but constantly. It's possible that without Himawari, Sarada's eyesight might already be in a much worse state by now. We just don't know what the lowest baseline really is. The manga doesn't always reveal everything right away, and honestly, that's part of what makes TBV so interesting to analyze. I think there's also a chance that Himawari can't stop the process by herself. Sakura diagnosed the decline in Sarada's eyesight using ordinary medical methods. That detail is extremely important, because if the cause is physical destruction rather than some unique type of Uchiha chakra, then theoretically those cells could actually be restored. And honestly, I think there may only be one real solution here: the Byakugo seal. It allows chakra to be stored at the cellular level and directed into extremely precise tissue regeneration. If the Mangekyo is destroying physical cells rather than permanently altering chakra pathways, then Byakugo could theoretically repair that damage. Sarada, with direct access to one of the greatest medical ninja in Konoha's history, and with her own exceptional intelligence and analytical mindset, practically has to study this technique. But there's a problem that can't be ignored. Byakugo is not something you can learn quickly. It's one of the most demanding techniques in the entire canon. Tsunade and Sakura trained for years to master it. This isn't the kind of thing you unlock in 2 chapters, even with genius-level talent and the perfect mentor standing beside you. And that's where Himawari enters the story again, but in a completely different role. My theory is this: Himawari becomes a buffer. She doesn't heal Sarada, she slows the process down. She stabilizes the Sharingan at a certain level, while Sarada learns Byakugo. From a narrative perspective, that actually makes perfect sense. Both kunoichi need each other. One buys time, while the other searches for the answer. This isn't just a nice friendship story. It's a structurally functional mechanic that fits within the rules of the universe itself. Now let's talk about what almost definitely is not going to happen: Eternal Mangekyo in the next few chapters. In canon, that was the solution to vision loss, and Sasuke received Itachi's Sharingan. But in TBV, that route is basically closed off. There's no suitable Uchiha shinobi with a Mangekyo Sharingan who could donate one, which means the manga is forced to search for a fundamentally different solution. And honestly, that makes Sarada's arc much more interesting than if the story simply repeated her father's path. Ikemoto can't permanently remove Sarada's eyesight from the story, but that's exactly why the way he escapes this narrative trap will either feel brilliant or completely unearned. If the solution ends up being too easy, the fandom will fairly criticize it. If it drags on for too long, TBV risks losing the pacing that it's been handling extremely well in the recent chapters. The balance here is critically important, and I think the key lies specifically in the connection between Sarada, Sakura, and Himawari. Not one hero saving the day alone, but a team where every single person contributes something the others can't. Sarada isn't just losing her eyesight, she's losing the very thing that always made her strong: precision, control, and awareness. The Sharingan isn't just a tool, it's part of her identity as both a shinobi and an Uchiha. Losing it would mean losing part of herself. And that's exactly why this arc could become one of the strongest storylines in all of TBV if Ikemoto handles it correctly. So now I want to hear your thoughts. Will Sarada manage to master Byakugo before her eyesight reaches a critical level? Do you believe Himawari is capable of slowing this process down? And what solution do you think would feel the most fair and believable within the lore?